What is up, everyone? I am here with an update to the Master Chief and Hunter statue. I have it taped together like this because I can't show it to you unless I do this. No, I'm joking. I'm going to sell it with all the tape on it. I'm kidding. So, you know, there is a few things I have to fix on this thing, and nothing big. There's a little sanding I have to do, and then respraying some of the metal. The Chief has some gaps in his arms, one of his arms, and his hips. You can see when he goes by, those little gaps. I have to fill them in. There's nothing I can do about that. I mean, he fits together fine. It's just, sometimes when you key stuff, especially when you do the masking keying like I did in Blender, you'll get that a little bit. And it really also depends on the model. This model was made for animation more than printing, so I had to go in there and cut it up and do a lot of work. And when I say a lot of work, I mean a lot of digital work on it to get it this way. And it is a lot of work, especially I'm not a modeler, so I'm just doing what I can do to make sure I have a model I can use, because it was very difficult, and that is the Halo Infinite model. It's a version of it. It's not super highly detailed like those ones up there, but it's not bad. You can see it. It's still pretty good. It's going to be perfect for this model. It already is perfect. I look for the best one I can get, and this is it. Outside of this, there was nothing even close as nice, and to be able to pose it is a blessing. If you think about it, because there's surely not a lot of Halo Master Chiefs from this game that are posable that will actually print. Most of them, the real nice ones, they're just digital. They're not. When you take away all the materials and stuff in Blender, they're just not good. So this one was the best one I could find. Let's put it that way. And it's really nice. I posed him. I didn't want him to look like the McFarlane pose. I thought this pose was more serious. I didn't care for the leg flying. In the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm going to do it like that. And then the more I looked at it, I'm like, what a dumb pose. This one is, in my opinion, maybe not everybody's. I prefer this better. I posed him myself. I literally wanted him to be looking where he's going to stuff the grenade, which is what he's doing. I'm going to stop him when he comes around so you can see the pose a little better. So originally I had the legs or the feet inside these, and it just didn't look right. And plus it was a bad, like where the pegs were in here, and then the hunter's body actually went over his foot when I did the cutout, the Boolean for it. And then when I tried to assemble it, you couldn't. You had to assemble each foot, which if I would have known. The problem was I glued the Chief together, and to get both his feet, and I ended up snapping the leg. If I would have known that, I would have assembled it without the glue and then glued it together after the legs were in place. But I didn't. I ended up breaking it. I still have it. I'll just keep it for myself because nobody's going to want it. But at the end of the day, you can't tell it's broken when it's glued together. It just broke in the hip. Whoop-de-doo. That's where it assembles, But I can't sell it like that. But to keep it, you'll never know. It'll be on my shelf looking badass. So, but this pose, again, I wanted him to. There's a lot behind this pose that some people may not see. Some people might. Some people might think it's weird that you put so much thought into the pose, because at the end of the day he's just hanging on, throwing a grenade. Or, I mean, not throwing a grenade. You know what I'm saying? But I actually it's funny to me. Is when I did the pose, I was like, if he puts his foot here, and you can see it, it's his ankle's leaning over to the right, like he's leaning over to the right. And then this foot, if you look, to me, the pressure's coming down on his right foot. And that's how I was doing it. And so he's hanging on with his left hand. Let me let him turn more. This is really how I thought of it. I really thought of the physics of it. And then I wanted him to be, if you see where he's looking, his helmet's facing there, but he's basically looking right there in the side, as you can see, kind of looking down. And then the arm, if you look at the arm, so his grenade, his arm's going to come across in front of him to stuff it in there. and then he'll push off on that foot. So that's why I did him like that, so that he's looking where he's gonna stuff a grenade right now. Obviously, that's the overall, you can tell that overall, but that was my thinking when I did the feet and the ankles and how I twisted like the position of the foot. You know what I'm saying? Like how it's bent like that. That was my thinking. Like that's why his foot's kind of coming off there, because he's gonna stuff it and jump right away. So anyway, that was my thought process when I did that. I didn't want his leg flying out because I don't know. Like I said, I get why they did that with the McFarlane one. I get it. It was cool looking, I guess, in the video, but for a statue, it just doesn't. I don't know. It wasn't. I had no interest in that pose, but so that's how he looks from the pose side, or not from the pose side, from this side. I think my main aggravation is the gaps in the hips, but those are easy to fix. There's nothing I can do. I tried one, because here's the deal. When I glued the hips in, what I did was I put the Hunter together like this, right? And then I made sure when I glued them, I immediately, before the glue dried, which you only have seconds, got the pegs in place and everything set. So then when the Hunter's glued together, his legs still fit, if that makes sense. And I had to do it in a hurry. Matter of fact, I did one side then the other. It was really hard because it's not glued together. But anyway, the point is so I'll go fix those little gaps. It's just annoying. And then I got a little sanding to do. But I really think the star for me is the paint on the Hunter. I absolutely love how it's not one color. And sometimes it looks so purple in one area, and not even from this angle, it barely does. But you go over here and see how the back of the leg right here, it gets like bluish, but then when you're over here, it's more silver. It's just the way I sprayed the paint on it. Like same thing with the back here. It just depends. It's just two paints. It's the form of aluminum that I use, and then it's literally a watered down true metallic paint. If you water it down enough and you spray it at the right distance, you get this effect. I mean, I figured that out on my own is what I'm saying. Like, I didn't know. I just guessed how to do it, and it came out right. Sometimes you got to do that, you know. I don't know how to do everything, so I'm trying to figure it out as I go. And so my point, though, is that I'm really happy with this paint. And I'm happy that I finally got it done. This thing's a massive beast. I'll probably be making it smaller in the future. Unless someone is like, sees this big one, is like, oh, I have to have the big one. You know, I'll do it, but it's going to be... There's a couple pieces of it that are, I mean, I printed some of these pieces 3 times for them to come out right. So I just, you know, can be a little aggravating and time taking. That's why, you know, normal time it takes can be extended, because these pieces, I try to print them like the same way it prints once, and then it won't print again. It's just at a larger size, I find that you get more fails. That's why I figure, you know, if I make them like, maybe like 12 or 13 inches tall, he's still going to be like 15 inches from the front to the back. That is massive. Even at a shorter height, he may be only 15 inches tall, but look how big it is. It's just humongous. So, you know what? Maybe I shrink it down. But anyway, I just wanted to show that. And then lastly, I'll show how the worm parts look. Let them turn around to the light. Come on, fool. There you go. And so they all have the same theme. Basically, they're dark, and that color is like a custom color I made specifically for this. I'll probably vary the colors for this, you know, in the future. It's probably be similar, but not exact. And I just throw that little red. It's not perfectly painted. I don't want it. And then I'll put a darker color in the grooves, and then there's probably going to be another color that goes in there. Not very prominent, but it'll definitely be used in there. But so, you know what, as far as the Hunter goes, it's going to get gashes in his shield. It's going to get some on his body. It'll get his green little pieces here. These will be green, you know, the glowing parts. And then I'm going to go in, once I'm done with everything, I will go in and do all the edges, like scratched, like you typically see my work. I'll go in here and do these little metal pieces, different colors, you know, to like separate the little mechanisms in there. You can't just all be one color. Even if they are one color in Halo, that's not the way this is going to look. I want it to have some life, you know. If I leave it like this, yeah, it looks cool, but No, I'm gonna badass this shit up. So hopefully you like what you see. You know, if anybody, well, there are people that want it, but I don't know how long it's gonna be till it's done. If you're interested in ordering one, you know, you can do that too. We'll see what happens. You know, how much longer it takes me as I got other stuff to do. Hopefully less than 2 weeks. We'll see. You know, but hey, again, I just hope you guys like it and you like what I do. And don't forget to like, follow, share. Oh yeah, check this shit out. I can't wait. I know somebody who loves Starscream and reads books, and I was like, hell yeah. So this ought to be, I wish it was in pieces and I can make it bigger, but it's the way it is. So I'm gonna have to get in there and try to paint it. You know, I'll probably end up taping some stuff off because it's just too hard to get in there and do fine work when you can't even get an angle. So we'll see what happens. You know, he's already his light grayish white. I may have to, I don't know, it looks good as a base color to start. I'm gonna see what all my, I mean, I own a Starscream, he's up there. And that's literally the same color as this right now, so got close. But anyway, don't forget to like, follow, share, and oh yeah, here, look. I don't know if I showed this, I probably did. Probably gonna make this hollow so solid, it's so heavy, freaking knock somebody out with it. You can see that paint again. Just 2 colors sprayed on there. So, all right, everyone, gotta go. Gotta go to bed and have a snack. So, peace. Hope you love it.